you to my YouTube channel, Animals and Pets with Partha. Today I'm just going to talk about the compassion that we now have for dogs. When I came into this fancy of, of course, as a dog lover, when I was born into a family of animal and dog lovers, and then when I came in, and then I sort of started keeping show dogs. Of course, that all by coincidence. That I went to buy a pet, and that dog turned out to be a show dog, and he started winning. But once he started winning, then it sort of sparked up my interest in the purebred dog world. And then that, of course, it's been a very interesting and long and interesting journey where I happened to become a Mulberry judge and have judged in various big dog shows, very famous dog shows, important dog shows in many countries of the world, which includes, of course, the Melbourne Royal in 1989, the Hobart Royal in 2000, the Brisbane Royal in 2000, and the Hobart Royal in 2004. Of course, I've judged in UK, and then I've judged several shows in South Africa, Japan, all over Asia. Then I've judged in Philippines and many countries, which is more than 100 times that I must have traveled, or even 150 times I would say. But then all that has been a great learning experience, and of course, I stopped active breeding of dogs because I could not give my animals the facility in this, metropolitan city of Calcutta, because earlier we used to have some kennel help and sort of, we could manage, but we live in where you don't have a yard or something, it's all concrete. So I actually stopped breeding, and then over the years, of course, dog became here in India, whatever you do it for money. If you keep dogs, you keep it for money. It means you start breeding and you want to make money. So what has happened is now dogs have become like poultry. So the main, the thousands of pet shops that have sprung up all over the country, every city, means in my city, I can tell you, every big junction, means a couple of kilometers, you can get a market. You can get a market, means a weekend market and things like that. So all this put together, dogs have become something which is no more, where people don't really, they go in and they bump into pet shops everywhere, and whether in cages, they're just, they're pathetic looking dogs, and then somebody just buys it because, it's they buy them by the name. It's either Labrador or Siberian Husky, maybe a German Shepherd or a Golden Retriever. These are the most popular breeds. Then you have the Beagle and all. They're all, all the cages everywhere are just full of these. And most of it is distress sell. And people just buy them and take them, and they don't like it, they leave it on the roads. So it's all a chaos. And then, it's so uncompassionate, it's merciless, it's so cruel that, we inflict so much of pain on this man's best friend, the dogs. So, earlier times when I used to really breed, and now of course I've started again. We had waiting lists. We had people waiting for our puppies, and then we would breed, and then of course they would wait for 6 months or maybe more, and then we give them a puppy, and that's so endeared, loved, and looked after. But all that is now gone. So dogs are no more Though, in fact, no one can deny that dogs are known as man's best friend, but we don't really pay any importance to this to dogs anymore because they're so cheap now everywhere, and then people just can't sell them because. Early, what happened? There was this dog shows. The dog shows could grade, So now the dog shows are also money. You just pay, and you, of course, all this has been possible because of one man in somewhere in South India, who actually made this dog came into a, converted into a big racket, to money spinning racket, and he's got agents all across this country. We have a couple of agents in Calcutta, and all these are just after making money. Well, people will come and say that, well, if they're making money, good enough. If you can't, it's your bad luck. Well, so that's it. But then it's the destruction of the entire game and reputation, and all the breeds that you see across in the cages are so pathetic because they have no clue what they're breeding for. They do not have any knowledge of standards, the breeders, and they're just breeding for the market. They're just producing in bulk. They are undernourished females, and then every season they're being bred, and then finally these poor females, finally they die after continuously giving puppies every 6 months. And that is the sad story. What I want to tell you is that I have a company called Animal World. Okay. Now that's a registered company. I run a portal and I write, and a publishing company where it's a registration portal that I run. There are a lot of services that I intended to do, and I do give services that you can download pedigree, you can download registrations, you have tattoo number, and you can tattoo it onto your dogs or other animals, whatever. But then what happens is no one is really interested in anything, they're just interested in the commercial part. I bought a dog and now I don't want it, and I want to gift it, and I want to donate it. They say donate, as if you donate to a temple, you donate something which enriches that place. But here you've taken it, the animal, the dog, and you've kept it, fed it, whatever, and then one fine day you decide you can't take care of it. Then you want to give it. Who wants it? Nobody wants it. So what happens is these dogs finally are left on the roads, and the people just run away. So imagine this animal was in comfort, living in a big mansion or an apartment or whatever, and suddenly he realizes that there's nobody to, all his known people. The dog is not interested whether you give it, a lot of good food or something. It's the master that, that's what they live for. The dogs live for the masters, and they could live on even scraps. They could live on even just rotis, chapatis, is good enough. But it's the master that matters. All of a sudden, it says the entire world has broken down. He has nobody. He's left on the road. He's bewildered. What a cruel sight to see a dog that is dazzled and doesn't know how to cross the roads, and with speeding cars, and they get run over, or some local stray dogs, they just gather together and start biting that dog, which has never been used to all this. So all this torture, is it necessary? Why do you buy dogs when you cannot take care of it for his entire life? I mean, it's so sad. Now, if you're not a dog lover, you bought a dog just to, you thought it's a nice toy, it'll be a lot of fun. And once you buy it and start keeping it, you see a lot of responsibility, and then you just throw it on the roads. You see all these puppies that I have now bred. I bred a litter, of course, and then I have pre-bookings for, and that's why I bred them. Otherwise, I wouldn't. And the main criteria of selecting homes for these puppies is a good home, not the money. Money is, of course, I can compromise, but what I cannot compromise is a good home for the dog, because this is my passion, and this is not my only livelihood that I actually live on. So, but of course, there are thousands and thousands of people who, for them, this is livelihood. So they would say what we are doing is correct, and whether they throw the dog after they buy it or they come, most of the time these dogs are returned to the sellers free of cost, actually, and the sellers resell it and then resell it, because they all keep coming back, because most of these people impulsively buy and they have no clue. Well, it's a sad story, and it can go on and on. And because I have this company, Animal World, I get numerous calls, and of course I don't attend to them because I have a digital secretary on Truecaller. So the moment I see, I first bang on and say send to assistant. The assistant starts speaking and says that So after that, if that person replies he's got something specific which I can help, then I pick it up. Otherwise, please, I want to donate this animal, I want to donate my dog, and I want to, as if they're doing, people are going to run and get a gift my dog. All this will be, attempts that people try, and then, of course, I can't attend the calls. My secretary will say, and then I look at it and I then block that number, because they keep on frantically calling. I know, and they would, of course, they are helpless and they're in distress because now they can't. They just don't need that dog anymore. So it's just use and throw that to people. It's just like a toy. You buy a gadget, and then after some time, you have new models, like your mobile phone. You buy a mobile phone, and then you take care of it all the time. It's close to your heart, and then after you buy a new mobile phone. The old mobile phone is just dumped. You don't need it anymore, but it's been a faithful friend of yours, and then you just transfer all the data, and that's it. So, it's so sad. Anyway, so with these words, and then, that animalworldregistry.com, and that company's Animal World, so you can check from my call list. There are hundreds of calls coming. In a month, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 calls coming in 30 days, which is a huge number, and everybody is in distress, and as to what they can do about all these stray and unwanted animals, and also a lot of pedigree dogs are just left loose on the roads, and the owners run away. So it's I hope we can do something about it. So I would want like-minded people to put in some inputs if they think that it is something that they could lend a hand, and let us start and go from here. Bye-bye, and see you soon in my next episode. Again, of course, serious matters about dogs, and just subscribe to my channel if you have not, and of course, share my channel among animal lovers. Bye-bye, and see you soon in my forthcoming episode.